Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with a few blank tag bases. They're just literally ivory coloured card, which I have cut down into tag shapes. They're kind of different sizes, you know, for the tags, but yep. Thought we could come along and make some fabric tags, only because really I had recently done a video where I'd used quite a bit of fabric and it's all still laying around my desk. So I thought, well, whilst I've got it out, before I clear it away, let's just come along and make some fabric tags. So all I'm going to do is cover my tag bases with some fabric in the first instance, and then, you know, we'll kind of decorate some of them. So what I'll do, I'm just going to do one or two with you guys, and then obviously I'll probably switch the camera off and then cover them with the fabric, and then we'll come back, rather than kind of bore you to tears with me just covering my tags, you know, with the fabric. So all I'm doing here is I'm just cutting my my fabric. Oh, that was a new one, wasn't it? My fabric. No, I'm covering my fabric. Covering my fabric. Oh, sorry. I will learn to talk hopefully before the end of the video. I am covering. No. So sorry. I'm cutting my fabric down into a kind of good size, so that when I cover my tag, I'm just working with a smaller piece of fabric rather than that whole ginormous piece that I had just now. So I've got my Fabri-Tac glue, and all I'm doing is literally covering the tag base with the glue. So I want to go quite close to the edge, as close as I can kind of get to the edge, like that, with my Fabri-Tac glue. And then I like to just sort of smother the inside as well, so that, you know, my fabric's then glued pretty much, you know, all over the tag rather than just kind of around the edges. And then I'm just going to take my fabric and I'm just going to place it onto the tag like that. Now at this point, it's up to you really how you kind of spread it, and depending on your fabric may depend on how you spread it, if that makes sense. So I've got my card that I use to spread paper, you know, when I glue paper down. So I'm going to just use that for this particular fabric, which is, you know, a thinnish cotton fabric. If I were using something that was kind of heavily embroidered or anything like that, I wouldn't use the card. I would just kind of spread it, you know, I don't know, maybe, yeah, probably just with the tissue or a dry wipe or something like that. Only because if I just show you, if I use a fabric like this, it's not going to be very easy to spread with my card. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't use, you know, my card for things like that. So that's all I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to cover a bunch of tags and then we can come back. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. Now I've covered all of the tags, and I thought what we'll do, I'll just kind of show you, I know this just sounds ridiculous, but how I'm going to cut around them. I'm not trying to kind of be patronising. I just, you know, sometimes, you know, people kind of film things and then I don't see a part of the video that I would find really helpful. So I'm just showing you this just, you know, in case you would find this helpful. So basically I've got an overhang of fabric, and I just like to trim up around the edge like this. So I just turn the tag over so that I can see the, you know, the tag shape roughly, and then I just trim my fabric up around the edge. Now obviously it was quite a tight squeeze on the tag, if you see what I mean. So, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. I've got just a little tiny corner showing. Actually, as it happens, that corner is so tiny I don't need to worry about it. But if it was causing a problem, i.e. there was more showing, I would just then snip this a little bit, you know, in here, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to now trim the rest of my tags down so that they're all kind of trimmed down, and of course won't bore you with doing that. And then what I'll probably do is take them all to the sewing machine and just stitch a straight stitch around the edge, and then we can come back and decorate some of the tags. So I'll be back, hold on. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine. So I've got my bunch of tags here all stitched, ready to use. Now I'm going to just mix them with some bits from my Perfect Pocket packs, only because I've got these kind of here on my desk that I've cut up, you know, and I'd used for something else, and these are my kind of leftover bits. So these are from the Perfect Pocket packs 7, 8, and it might be, I'm not sure, 3 and 4 or something like that. But lots of different bits and bobs here, so we can kind of layer up and things like that. So just going to take some of these bits and kind of like put them on first, so that we can kind of just get a feel for, you know, which things that we can use. So again, I've been really ridiculously optimistic, thinking I'm going to get through even half of these tags. Probably won't get through even half of them. But yeah, let's just kind of place some bits down so that we can just get a feel for what we might like on them, and then hopefully we'll be able to kind of put them together, you know, pretty quickly if we've actually kind of made a start of, you know, what we're going to be using on what tag. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Actually, I'm just thinking I've got this one with a white center, so why waste the blue? So yeah, maybe that one. Oh, I'm actually thinking she would have looked really good on that, which luckily I've got two of those. Oh, she's a bit big for that one. This one's wider. Yeah, that one's wider. Let's just pop her down on there. Just see. Oh, now I'm struggling to use him. I mean, it could go on there. That is kind of swamping the tag, but it looks okay, doesn't it? Yeah, let's just go for that. I mean, like I say, probably won't even get through half of these anyway, so probably worrying unnecessarily, thinking I'm going to get through all of these, but let's just see. I mean, that's quite nice. Could kind of layer that up, or could have her on there as a sort of contrast. It's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, quite like that. And then this one, final one. I mean, literally, I'm, you know, just kind of going with this with any old thing that I place down. I'm really trying not to overthink this at all. You know, so it might be that actually I've not really used the best pieces, you know, the best combinations. I could have perhaps picked better combos. I mean, that's quite nice on there, for instance, isn't it? Although, to be honest, although I think that is quite nice on there, it's maybe a bit too, you know, much of a blend into the background and then doesn't really show up. So maybe, you know, maybe we're better off with the contrasting type look like that. So let's just see. I mean, I don't have to use all of these bits, obviously. Oh, I mean, that's quite nice, to be honest, just like that. So let's just see. Okay, well, perhaps I'll come back to this one. Yeah, I'll come back to that one. Right, okay, so I've got plenty to be going on with, haven't I? So let's pull this one in first. So again, I've got obviously lots of bits and bobs here from the Perfect Pocket packs. So I'll just kind of see if I can mix this in with any of the bits. So, oh, I've got these flowers, which might be quite good on here, mightn't they? So yeah. Let me just see whether I want this layered up at all. That's quite nice, isn't it? I quite like the sort of vibrant colours, because I mean, this is vibrant fabric, isn't it? So I like to just rough my edges up. I know this is, you know, something I do all the time, so, you know, boring doing the same old thing, but I know I've said this before, you know, I just think if you find something that you like and that works, then, you know, why wouldn't you do it all the time, to be honest? So just roughing the edge of my tag up a little bit. Now, obviously, this is stitched and stuck, but just kind of roughing it slightly. Now, I'm going to take my vintage photo and I'm just going to go around the edge of here first, so to get rid of those kind of white edges. Oh, I'm so sorry if you can hear my printer. It's doing a mass print run, and obviously it's not really suddenly too happy. If you could hear that kind of, yeah, making a fuss there in the background. Well, touch wood, it seems to have got over its little tantrum and carried on printing, but for how long, who knows. So yeah, maybe something like that. Now I'm just going to ink up the edge of the tag. So, you know, personally, I find fabric does ink pretty well. You know, I would say it depends on the fabric, but actually I can't think that I've had a fabric that hasn't inked, you know, pretty well. But I guess there probably are some exceptions to the rule. And then I'm just going to go around the back of my tag with my ink, you know, just so it's not plain ivory on the back. I mean, like I say, it is ivory card. It's not kind of plain white or anything like that. So, you know, it is a bit more interesting. So just chop this down. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think the blue's a nice, you know, nice addition on this. It looks pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, really like that. So I'm just going to glue this down. Now I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac again. So the same, you know, the same glue that we used to glue the fabric down onto the tag in the first place. I'm just going to use to, oops, glue this piece down. Again, I could have put this on as a pocket. Actually, if I'm truthful, it didn't even occur to me to do that. And yeah, annoying really, because actually it would have been brilliant as a pocket. I just did not think of it in time. But definitely we could have put it on as a pocket. And then we're going to have this piece. Now, I'm wondering here whether we want to have a little bit of lace or something just poking out from there. Let me just have a look around on the desk and see. No, can't see any suitable fabric there. I have got this little bit of pink. I mean, I'm not sure about this. It might not be quite ideal being pink, but you know, I thought, oh well, there's a lot of pinky red in the fabric, but well, actually, it probably doesn't look too bad. Yeah. So maybe something like that. And then, oh, have a blue butterfly, which we could definitely add. And then I have got some more of those roses. So let's just see. I've got like a bigger one. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? I love how that looks. Now, for my this topper piece, you know, this piece, I'm going to just hot glue this down. Now, this is going to hot glue, and hopefully the hot glue then is going to hold this lace in place. So, just taking my hot glue. Oops, hang on. Haven't used it yet today, but it's been on for a long time, so yeah, it might have even got a bit too hot, I'm thinking. Not that I've ever experienced that before, and I mean, sometimes I've even forgotten and left my hot glue on overnight, which, I mean, as somebody rightly pointed out, it's probably even a fire hazard, so I must not do that. But yeah, I was just meaning, you know, I'm not sure that it does really get too hot. But it felt like it had got too hot. Right, okay, so that there. Now, just check which way round I want my roses. Yeah, I think I quite liked the big one at the top, actually. So again, just going to hot glue this down, just because it's going over the lace as well. And so, you know, that's just kind of like clamping the lace down like that. Oops. I mean, what a gorgeous pocket. Oh my goodness. Pocket? No, not pocket, tag. Gorgeous tag. So love how that looks. And then the butterfly. Don't want it to look like we've got a line, you know, going around, which kind of, yeah, it could begin to look like. Maybe that's better. So, you know, you just sometimes have to kind of watch where you put your pieces, because otherwise you can end up with a weird, I mean, it's not symmetrical, obviously not symmetrical, but I don't know what to describe it as. But, you know, like it's got like a deliberate kind of shape, which then looks a bit weird, I think. So, yeah, sometimes just got to be a bit careful how you put things down so you don't end up with those weird shapes. Okay. And get my butterfly. Put my butterfly down there. Now for a tab for this, well, I'm not sure what tab to use actually. Let me just pull in my ready-made tabs just in case I've got any. Let's just have a look. Oh, Oh, annoyingly, that's one that I've decorated, so I won't be using that. Do have another one here. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? This is just my pink posy papers, but yeah, they look quite pretty on there. And it's just bringing in that delicate pink from sort of down the bottom, which, you know, is quite nice, isn't it? Let me just ink around it. Okay. I'd actually forgotten how much fun the fabric tags are. You know, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, we do things, don't we? And then, you know, we don't do them for a while and then just instantly forget, you know, just how fun things are. That's a bit how I feel about these. Right, just going to check whether if we had that tab, would we want anything on there? So let's just see. Got like some bling. We could have some bling on there. Just cut this bling down. Okie dokie. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Maybe you are doing some crafting. I hope you're having a nice time. Do share below, you know, what you're working on at the moment. I know I say this all the time, but yeah, it's always really nice to hear what people are working on, you know, because it can really spark ideas. Oh, I mean, how nice does that look, to be honest? So yeah, I'm just going to glue this on. Now, I could fabric tack this. No, I'm gonna just gonna hot glue it. So I've just glued the front, and we'll glue the front on first, like that. Oops. And then we can glue the back down. So like that, and then the back piece like that. Okay. And then for my bling, because I think that did look pretty, didn't it? We just get kind of, yeah, a row of the bling. Like that. Okay, that we're just going to put across the top. So what a gorgeous tag, isn't it? It really looks pretty. I love the colours of it, I must say. Right. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Oh, how gorgeous is that tag? Looks so pretty, doesn't it? Right, so tag number 1 done. Right. Let's come on to this one. So yeah, I mean, this piece goes nicely on here, doesn't it? Right, now what are we going to put with this one? Now, was this the one that I did try with this? I can't even remember now what I've tried and what I haven't. I think I did try it on there and I said it was a bit blendy, but actually on, you know, on second glance, I actually quite like it. So, I mean, it is quite blendy, don't get me wrong, but I quite like it like that. So just going to ink this up, and then this piece again, just going to, you know, rough around the edges like that. I mean, it always helps if you're doing kind of tags and things to just have a few pieces sat beside you, you know, either, you know, some little fussy cuts like this or something, or maybe like if you've got any die cut packs or anything that you've bought, or, you know, clusters, they would be fantastic to put on your fabric tags, you know, any of those kinds of things. And then it's going to just make making your tag, you know, come together miles easier, or miles quicker. You know, so it is worth kind of having a bunch of stuff sat there. I mean, in the past, I did used to kind of make tags and then, you know, sit down to make the tags and then be like, well, it's in the past. I mean, still sometimes this happens now, you know, I think, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of tags. And then I sit down and think, well, actually, I've got nothing to put on the top of the tag. So, you know, but in an ideal scenario, it's really great if you can actually come, you know, with a bunch of stuff ready to kind of use. So that's that one. Now, I'm not even going to rough the edge of this, to be honest, because I'm not really too sure that it made that much difference. So I'm just going to ink around the edge there. again with my vintage photo. And then just ink around the back. Like I said before, this is ivory card, so it's not a glaring white card anyway, but I'll just kind of, you know, help it along. Help it to look a bit more interesting. So there we go. Right, now this piece. So I'm thinking this piece here. Now, do we want it in the centre or off to the side? And in the centre is kind of quite nice, really. I always think that's a bit sort of dated to have things in the centre, but sometimes that's quite good, you know, because a lot of what we're doing, we're trying to make it look vintage, which of course then dated is what we're wanting, isn't it? So yeah, I have just this banner piece, or I've got this you know, well, it's not a lock and key, is it? But, you know, keyhole. Oops. Let's just ink this up. Well, I mean, that looks quite nice down there, doesn't it? And again, I would just snip this off at the side, which I think looks good. Now, I've got that pink lace just still sat here, so I'm wondering, because again, this tag has got pinks and blues in it, hasn't it? So, you know, we might just be able to incorporate a bit of this pink lace. And this is very, very, very pale anyway. I mean, it's barely, you know, barely looking pink at all. So, yeah. Oh, my goodness. How pretty does that look? Oh, I love that. It's gorgeous. Right, very delicate looking, isn't it? So let's just glue this down. Oops. So using the hot glue once again, just like we did on the other one, that's going to then, you know, clamp over that lace and hold the lace down. So like that. Okay. Oh, how scrummy does this look? That lace just has transformed that, hasn't it? It's, yeah, just really looks really, really, really pretty, I must say. So, yeah, then I'm going to put this down here, just to the side. Now, again, just going to be like super lazy and hot glue this down. So I might just snip it off here, like that. And then just hot glue the whole thing down. Just because it's going over a few different layers, so we've got kind of some lumps and bumps. So the hot glue is going to be, you know, kind of like quickest and easiest really to glue down over all of those lumps and bumps. I mean, I could use the Fabri-Tac, I could use a wet glue, but I just have to kind of then press something down on it, you know, weigh it down for, you know, a little while it dries. And just because obviously when you're making a video, that's not great to be doing that, is it? So that's why I've gone for that. Oh, love how this tag's looking, I must say. So, I mean, it's just very simplistic, isn't it? But it is very, very nice. Ooh, I'm even wondering whether this label I could use as a tab. I mean, that is quite pretty, isn't it? I'll just put this butterfly on. Okay. Like that. Going to just check whether I've got some other tabs that would go just before I use this. And I do have this. I mean, it's very similar obviously to the tab that we used on the last one, in that it was obviously one made with that scalloped oval punch. We could have that on there. Oh, that does look pretty, I must admit. I think, yeah, I think I'm going to use that. I mean, I quite liked this, but to be honest, the scalloped oval looks perhaps even better. I'm just going to see if I could do that. I mean, is that just weird? Yeah, I think that is just weird. Okay, we won't be doing that. Right, so just exactly as we did before, going to glue this down here on this front side. Like that. Okay. And then we can just turn that over and then glue down the back. And I've got my fan heater going. And little Bo, my dog, she's normally in here with me in her bed. She's not in here today. She's in my bed. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her today, but she clearly did not want to get out of bed. She has obviously been out of bed. But yeah, she went back and kind of got in there and then never actually came in and joined me when I came in to do the video, which normally she, you know, she hears me and then she'll, you know, come and join me. But today, no, she obviously didn't want to. Now, I was going to put that bling there again like we did on the other one, but actually I prefer it probably this time without, strangely enough. We could have a little bit running down the side there. Oops. Straight that down. Yeah, just maybe a little bit there. Okay. There we go. Oh, how pretty does that look? So, yep, that's that one. So, I mean, they're coming together super quickly, aren't they? You know, we're really not kind of faffing around too much. They are, you know, coming together in no time at all. Right, so this one, I've got this lady. Now, again, she's from the Perfect Pocket packs. And I just thought she went brilliantly because this is a kind of bluey, purpley, mauvey colour on her dress, which of course picks up the bluey, mauvey, purpley colour in the fabric. So she was like, she was made for this, to be honest. So yeah, let's just pop her down. Got a little phrase of fabric on this one. Right, so if we have her now, what do we want to have with her? I mean, we could even mix something up like a shoe. I don't know what that's. I mean, is that weird? I don't know. I don't know whether that's weird, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of, you know, kind of unexpected, but I mean, is it weird? I don't know. Right, let's just ink this up. So, and then I will just ink around that fabric as well, just like we have on the others. Okay. And just go around here. Okay. Right, so oops. Just get that frayed bit out of the way. Right, okay, so if she went over there, now I'm thinking, yeah, you guessed it. I'm thinking we could have this little bit of pink lace on this one as well. I mean, that lace has just gone fantastically well with all three of these tags, which, you know, they're all three, they're different fabrics, and actually none of these fabrics contain particularly a sort of heavy amount of pink. In fact, if any, this one's got no pink in it. But doesn't that lace just look gorgeous on there? Which, you know, goes to show, doesn't it? Sometimes it's the things you least expect that actually look the best. So, you know, it's always worth trying bits that you know, perhaps wouldn't necessarily think, because they might just be the bits. Definitely, they might just be the bits. Right, let's have a quick look here. So I've got another one of those keyholes, and I'm just thinking, you know, it looked so good on that other tag, didn't it? So let's just see if we want one of these here. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I'm still not entirely convinced about the shoe, but I do quite like it. Let's put her down first. So again, going to just literally hot glue her, which is going to then, you know, press that lace down. Haven't done any of these pieces as pockets now, so yeah. Mainly because, you know, I've used them to kind of clamp the lace down, so, you know, it's just kind of, I would have had to glue the lace down probably first if I was making this a pocket, so Just being like super lazy, really. Right, let me just get this threaded bit off. Right. Oh yeah, forgot then what I was doing. So we could have this down here, which, I mean, that looks pretty, doesn't it? We could have it over here again. That looks pretty. Now, do we or don't we want the shoe? I mean, my only reservation with the shoe really is, does that shoe look quite big compared to... I mean, it's even quite nice to have it as a tab, weirdly enough, isn't it? Does that look quite big compared to, like, her, if I have the shoe on there? It maybe does, if I'm truthful. So perhaps we'll have this over here. Now, I've just got this little labelly piece. Oh my goodness, I can't even see if this is upside down or not. I think that's up the right way now. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Or we could have it behind the lace. Maybe on top of the lace there. So let's just snip this down here. Okay, right. So using the hot glue. For exactly the same reasons, it's obviously going over the, you know, the several layers, kind of lumpy, bumpy bits. So just putting hot glue on as opposed to wet glue, it's, you know, it just saves us having to kind of press it down. It's pressed. So yeah, love that. Now this, yeah, I quite like that. And then let me see, to see if I've got any butterflies left. And of course I haven't, which is just typical, isn't it? I do have a blue bow actually. Just check whether we want this anywhere. Oh, how nice does that look? Oh, well, actually, it looks quite nice like that. So maybe let's just put this down here. I just, yeah, I would like something down this side, I think. About like that. What do we think? I mean, that just feels like it's a bit too smothered, but then when I move it, I'm not happy when I move it either. So perhaps it is best like that. So, right, let's put the bow on, I think was what I was trying to say. So, yep, pop the bow on the top, and then here, like that. Yeah, down the side. So okay. Yeah. That looks lovely, doesn't it? And then I'm just thinking for this one, we've used those paper tabs, haven't we, for the last two. So I'm thinking for this, oh, I'm so sorry, now that's my phone. Hang on 2 seconds. Oh, sorry about that. That was just my dad. So, right, what was I doing now? Yeah, the sari silk, wasn't I? Yeah. Now, look at these colours against this tag. Oh my goodness. Yummy, yummy. So, oh. Now, it's weird, isn't it? But they do actually have a different look. So, I mean, I've even got some blue. I mean, you wouldn't have really thought that it would make such a big difference. But honestly, putting different colours changes the look of the tag. So we could either go with the blue, we could go with the purple, or we could go with this. Again, wishing that I was live and I could hear you guys say which one you think. If only I could hear you. Oh, I don't know. Decisions. I do really love the purple, it's got to be said. I mean, that being said, I do also actually really love the blue. Oh, which colour? don't know. I've got this horrible feeling that, you know, whichever colour I put, I'm going to then kind of wish I'd done a different colour. These are actually two different colour purples. So I've got this one, which is very vivid. I've got this one, which is less so. Well, I don't know whether I'd say less vivid, but a different shade anyway. I think I quite like this one, which is weird because actually at first I thought not that one. Now I've got my lovely wide eyelets, which I wasn't going to use, but now I'm thinking, oh, or is that just a waste really? I mean, because to be honest, we're going to tie this in a bow. You're not really going to see the eyelet. So, yeah, that's a waste. That is a waste. Right, okay. Oh, I just heard. Oh, my gorgeous little bow. She's come in, obviously, while I was on the phone. And I didn't hear her sneak in here. So she's now in here with me in her bed. So, yeah. Right, okay. So... right, thread this through. And I'm just going to do like a big nice bow on here. So, well, hopefully. Sometimes my bows are better than others, it's got to be said. But yeah, I'm going for a big nice bow, so fingers crossed. So like that. Okay. There we go. Pull this down here like that. Right, and snip that off, and there. So yeah, very, very, very pretty. Now what I'll do is just trim down my edges. Let me put that away. So, not trim down, sorry, glue down my you know, well, my bow basically. And I've said this loads of times before, but I mean, this is a kind of double bonus because not only are you kind of then holding your bow closed, you know, it's glued, whoops, glued in place, but you're also preventing it from, oops, preventing it from coming undone. So, you know, it's a really good thing to do. And the hot glue, you know, is wonderful for just doing that too. So there we go. Oh my goodness, now look. Covered that lady's face up completely. So I'm just going to snip that down. Yep, so we can actually see her face. So yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous is that? Looks beautiful, doesn't it? So yeah, right. Now that's probably all I'm going to get time for now. Because yeah, I'm going to meet my mum and dad now. So yep, we've got these three done, which, I mean, don't they just look gorgeous? But, you know, they're actually quite different looking, even though essentially they're kind of containing very similar elements, aren't they? But, you know, the fabrics and things being very different in colours and what have you has made them all look very different. So, yeah, let me know below which one is your favourite. Yeah, not sure which is mine. I do really love this one, I have to say. I really, really love this one. I don't know, to be honest. I like them all. Let me know, yeah, which is your favourite. And yeah, I will come back, and we've got obviously those bases from some other, you know, from the other tags that we haven't played with yet. So we might come back and do some more things with these. I have still got quite a bit of fabric laying around my desk, so I might come back and do some more fabric tags generally anyway. But yeah, I hope that you like them. Maybe you feel inspired to do some of your own fabric tags. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.